Most people I meet feel perfectly fine, until one quiet morning their fingertips feel colder than they used to, their toes tingle after a slow walk, and the blood pressure cuff in the clinic finally reveals a story their body kept quiet for years. The real threat to your brain is not the dramatic clutch you see on television. It is the gradual stiffening of the highways that carry life to every corner of you, a silent traffic jam that steals clarity, balance, and memory long before it raises its voice. Here is the hopeful turn. You can begin to loosen that traffic this very week with small, steady choices rather than extreme rules. A warm glass of water with lemon at sunrise, a palm of leafy greens at lunch, and a gentle 10-minute walk after dinner start opening the tiny doors inside your vessels so blood glides instead of grinds. I say this after many years at the bedside, because atherosclerosis grows in quiet and high blood pressure often hides its face while it strains the brain. Cold fingers, pins and needles in the feet, a tight pull in the calves by the second block are not random quirks of getting older. They are whispers that the hose carrying blood is narrowing. The benefit of catching this early is powerful. You protect your memory, your balance steadies, your legs carry you farther with less effort, and you lower the chance of the kind of stroke that takes independence away. The cost of waiting is just as clear. Plaque hardens, vessels lose their give, the brain receives less fuel, and later we are pushed toward procedures and pills that a quieter plan could have delayed. Let us set a simple plan today. Pay attention to 3 everyday signals: cooler hands and feet than the rest of the body, tingling that lingers after activity, and a clinic pressure reading that drifts above your usual range. None of these prove disease by themselves, but together they are a nudge to act. The advantage of acting now is that the safest therapies are also the easiest to live with. Real food in steady portions, a few minutes of movement spread through the day, and a simple morning drink of lemon, ginger, and turmeric that eases inflammation and coaxes vessels to relax. The drawback of chasing quick fixes online is that they promise shortcuts and deliver disappointment, because arteries respond to consistency far more than they respond to any single hero supplement. In a moment, I will show you the foods and the one morning drink I trust, and why they protect the lining of your vessels. For now, hold this truth. Your arteries are living tissue that can grow more flexible when you feed them well and move them gently. If you take medication, keep taking it as prescribed, and let your clinician adjust it while you add these daily habits. Because medicine and lifestyle are partners, not rivals. If you want one thing you can do before the sun sets, stand now, unclench your jaw, roll your shoulders, and take a slow, unhurried walk around your block while you sip warm lemon water. Small steps stack up, and the brain you protect is your future self saying thank you. The most dangerous belief I hear again and again is not that the body is wearing down with age. It is the quiet surrender that nothing can be changed. That false idea robs more men and women of clear memory than any single disease. The truth is far kinder. You still hold choices, and those choices do not have to be dramatic or costly. They live in what you sip first thing in the morning, in the colors you place on your plate, and in the small patterns that repeat through your days. The beauty of this path is that it does not demand that you abandon every comfort you enjoy. It simply invites you to add a handful of specific foods and a single morning drink, all backed by science, that together shift how your arteries open and how your brain receives its fuel. The cost of pretending you have no options is harsh. Old routines continue, vessels stiffen further, mental fog deepens, and the silent odds of a sudden stroke rise without warning. I have watched this split in real lives. Some begin with a modest change at breakfast, soon notice warmer hands and clearer focus, and by spring are walking blocks they once avoided. Others wait until the scan reveals a narrowing artery, and the conversation turns to stents and lifelong pills. I want you firmly in the first path. In the minutes ahead, I will walk you through 7 foods found in ordinary kitchens, and one morning drink that works like a gentle cleaner of the fine pipes within you, A few of these may already rest in your pantry. Others may surprise you. You will hear why they work, how to enjoy them safely, and the kind of difference they can make when practiced with consistency. The advantage is clear. No crash diet, no punishing exercise program, no costly supplements. The drawback is equally plain. Time does matter, because every season of delay adds another layer of plaque. As you listen, hold one thought. Each meal is a choice between medicine and poison. Stay close, because in just a moment, I will open the curtain on the first treasure from the ocean, and it may change the way you see your dinner plate for years to come. When I speak about protecting the brain, most people expect a new prescription or a complex procedure. The surprise is that one of the most reliable defenders waits quietly on ice at the fish counter, looking almost ordinary. Salmon has been examined for decades, and each study repeats the same lesson. The omega-3 oils in this fish behave like a fine lubricant for the long network of vessels inside you. I have seen patients who never cared for fish begin to eat 2 or 3 modest servings of wild salmon each week, and within months their blood fats improved, their hands warmed, and their recall on memory tests sharpened. The strength of salmon is its mix of healthy oils that calm inflammation, lower harmful fats, and prevent platelets from clumping into clots that can block the brain. The weakness is that not every fish provides this gift. Larger species often carry mercury, and salmon drenched in frying oil loses the very power it holds. Prepared with care, baked or grilled with a squeeze of lemon, salmon becomes more than a meal. It becomes protection for the mind. I remember a man in his late 60s who feared he was losing the names of his grandchildren. He declined medication at first but agreed to try salmon twice a week. Months later, he sat in my office smiling as he recalled each name at a family reunion. That small change kept his independence longer and cost less than most pills. Now consider a fruit that glows like treasure in the produce aisle. Pomegranate hides ruby red seeds that carry compounds proven to coax vessels open. By raising nitric oxide in the body, it allows arteries to relax like a stiff hose softened by warm water. This fruit not only improves circulation, but also shields against the oxidative stress that ages vessel walls. In one study from Israel, people who drank pure pomegranate juice every day for an entire year reduced the thickness of their artery walls by nearly 1/3, a change that directly lowers stroke risk. The danger comes when juice is bottled with sugar, because sugar works against the benefit. That is why I urge my patients to eat the seeds fresh, toss them in salads, or blend them into smoothies with no added sweetener. A woman in her 70s once told me she began opening a pomegranate each afternoon using the water bowl method I showed her. She said it felt like finding treasure, and she noticed her legs no longer cramped during long walks. It was a daily ritual that restored comfort and confidence. The lesson is simple. True medicine often looks ordinary. A cut of fish, a handful of seeds, yet together they change the current inside aging arteries. Stay close, because after the sea and the orchard, we will step into the garden, where a peppery little leaf offers its own quiet power for blood pressure and memory. Most people glance past a pile of arugula in the market as if it were just decoration. Yet this humble green can shift blood pressure faster than many expect. Unlike the watery crunch of iceberg lettuce, arugula carries natural nitrates that the body converts into nitric oxide, the very gas that signals arteries to relax and widen. I remember a retired teacher who replaced her usual salad base with arugula several times a week. Within weeks, her pressure readings began to fall, not because of a new prescription, but because her vessels were gently coaxed open. The strength of arugula is its speed, sometimes influencing circulation within hours, while also guarding the long term with vitamin K, to keep calcium in the bones instead of in the arteries, and folate, to lower homocysteine that otherwise scratches vessel walls. Its weakness is its fragility. It wilts quickly, and its peppery flavor fades if stored too long. Buy it fresh, enjoy it promptly, and you will taste both vitality and medicine in every bite. A simple drizzle of olive oil and lemon, or a quick turn in garlic and a pan, is all it takes to turn this leaf into therapy on a plate. From that sharp bite, we move into cream. Avocado, often called the butter of nature, is far more than a brunch fad. It is packed with monounsaturated fats that lower the harmful cholesterol that clogs and raise the helpful cholesterol that cleans, tilting the balance toward clear flow. I think of a man in his 70s who built every sandwich with thick layers of mayonnaise. We agreed to replace half of that with mashed avocado. Months later, his cholesterol levels had shifted for the better, and he told me he felt lighter after meals. The strength of avocado lies in its many allies. Potassium relaxes vessels by balancing the heavy hand of sodium. Vitamin E shields vessel walls from the wear of oxidative stress. The weakness is its density. Half an avocado provides the benefit, but too much adds calories that strain the same heart we are trying to guard. The key is ripeness. A gentle give beneath the skin means flavor and value. Slice it onto toast, blend it into a smoothie, or toss it into a salad, and you gain creamy satisfaction without the cost of clogged vessels. The deeper lesson is that health rarely comes from denial. It comes from wise replacement. A peppery green instead of pale lettuce, a creamy fruit instead of processed spread. Each small trade shifts the current toward freedom of flow. Stay close, because next we will shrink the focus to seeds so small they nearly disappear in your hand, yet they carry strength far beyond their size. It is easy to dismiss something so small that it can slip through your fingers, yet chia seeds carry a force far greater than their size. Each seed is a package of plant-based omega-3, soluble fiber, and protective vitamin E. I remember a woman in her late 60s who grew tired of feeling sluggish after her sugary breakfast cereal. We swapped that habit for a bowl of yogurt topped with a spoon of soaked chia. Months later, her cholesterol numbers had dropped. Her physician lowered one of her medications, and she told me she felt light on her feet again. The power of chia is that it works on several fronts at once. The omega-3 soothes the low-grade inflammation that stiffens arteries. The soluble fiber binds and removes excess cholesterol before it settles, and the antioxidants guard the vessel lining from further wear. Its weakness is that the seeds swell rapidly if eaten dry and can cause discomfort. The solution is simple. Let them soak until they form a gel. That gel not only eases digestion, but also slows the rise of blood sugar, a quiet advantage for many older adults. Whether stirred into smoothies, scattered over salad, or transformed into pudding, chia seeds remind us that strength is not measured in size. From the minuscule, we move to what has been called liquid gold. Extra virgin olive oil has been revered around the Mediterranean table for generations, and science has only deepened that respect. The polyphenols inside calm the hidden fire of inflammation in vessel walls, and the monounsaturated fats act like polish that keeps those vessels supple and free. A man in his 70s with Italian roots once told me his mother never set a meal on the table without olive oil. He kept that custom through his life, and when I met him, his clarity of mind and steadiness of step were striking for his age. The power of olive oil is confirmed by large studies showing that older adults who follow a Mediterranean-style diet rich in this oil enjoy lower rates of stroke and stronger cognitive health. Its weakness is its fragility in heat. When pushed into deep frying, the compounds that protect you are destroyed. The answer is to keep it in dark glass, shield it from light, and use it raw on salads or for gentle cooking. Even 1 or 2 spoons a day add up to a layer of protection for both brain and heart. The lesson is that medicine often hides in plain sight. A seed vanishing into yogurt, an oil gleaming on fresh greens. Together they soften vessels that would otherwise grow brittle. Stay with me, because next we will raise the temperature with a spice that not only wakes your tongue, but also wakes your circulation. Most people think of cayenne pepper only as a way to spark the tongue, Yet the heat inside this spice reaches the bloodstream. Its active compound, capsaicin, signals vessels to loosen and widen, allowing blood to glide more freely. I recall a woman in her early 70s who came to me frustrated by hands that always felt like ice. We agreed she would add just a pinch of cayenne to her soup several evenings a week. A month later, she returned smiling, saying her fingertips no longer ached with cold and her walks felt lighter. The strength of cayenne is its ability to release nitric oxide, the same messenger that relaxes arteries, lowers pressure, and supports circulation. It also calms hidden inflammation, slowing the process that hardens vessels. Its weakness is that too much too fast unsettles the stomach. The key is to begin with the lightest touch and let the body adjust. Over time, even a small dash on vegetables, eggs, or a morning smoothie can awaken flow without distress. From fire, we move to calm. Picture a mug of warm water carrying lemon, ginger, and turmeric. Each ingredient plays a role. Lemon offers vitamin C that guards vessel walls and strengthens collagen, helping arteries stay supple. Ginger adds a gentle heat with compounds that reduce clot risk and soothe irritation inside vessels. Turmeric lends curcumin, a golden defender shown to slow narrowing and lower the fats that burden circulation. Together, they create a trio that clears, protects, and energizes. I think of a retired nurse who began every day with this drink. She told me her mid-morning fog lifted, her hands felt warmer, and her energy stayed steady. The strength of this ritual is its elegance, no equipment, just fresh pieces and a habit. Its weakness is that taken too strong or on a sensitive, empty stomach, it may irritate. My advice is to keep the blend balanced: half a lemon, a modest spoon of ginger, a touch of turmeric, and if possible, a small pinch of black pepper to unlock the curcumin. Taken daily with patience, this cup warms the body, sharpens the mind, and prepares the day with a sense of clarity. The deeper lesson is that circulation responds to both flame and calm, a spice that stirs the vessels, a drink that nourishes them. Each is a modest act, but together they form steady medicine. Stay with me, because now that you have met 7 foods and 1 drink, it is time to draw them into a closing vision that connects your daily choices with the years you hope to enjoy. The real miracle for the mind is not locked in a prescription bottle. It rests in the quiet decisions you repeat day after day. We have walked together through 7 foods and 1 morning drink, each supported by research and by the real stories of people who felt warmth return to their fingers, steadiness return to their steps, and clarity return to their thoughts. The advantage of weaving these habits into daily life is that you build a shield, 1 meal, 1 walk, 1 sip at a time. The cost of waiting is that the body does not wait with you. Every season of delay adds to the burden on the vessels that feed your brain. I ask you to picture yourself, years from now, still walking a park path with your grandchild, still calling out names at a reunion, still greeting the morning without fear of sudden confusion. That future is shaped by the small actions you take tonight. Each fresh handful of arugula, each creamy slice of avocado instead of processed spread, each spoon of chia, each drizzle of olive oil, each dash of cayenne, each warm cup of lemon ginger turmeric. Together they stack like stones in a wall of protection. I have watched men and women who felt powerless rediscover strength by choosing just 1 change and holding to it. A man promised himself salmon twice a week and months later laughed at how far he could walk without stopping. A woman opened a pomegranate each afternoon and found her legs free of cramps. These were not outside miracles. They were the body's own response once, given what it craved. The beauty of small changes is that they multiply, while the danger of ignoring them is that independence may be stolen before you expect it. So I invite you to make a decision tonight. Perhaps soak chia seeds for the morning. Perhaps drizzle olive oil on your salad. Perhaps warm a lemon drink at dawn. Then share with us which choice you made. Your note may be the reason another person finds courage to start. Tell us if you have ever ignored quiet symptoms until they grew louder. Let this space become a circle where we remind one another to stay curious, stay steady, and stay hopeful. The mind you protect today becomes the story you live tomorrow. Keep walking, keep choosing, and keep sharing, because small changes stack up, and independence is a treasure worth guarding. I look forward to hearing your stories and to continuing this journey with you in the next conversation.